Hey everybody, it's Dr. Launin, and this is going to be a lecture. I'm calling it From One Cell to Complete Organism, Early Human Development and How Chemicals Can Affect It. And just want to be really clear that this is for educational purposes only. It's intended to be at an introductory lecture level. I am not an expert in the stages of human development or embryology. So the focus of this is really going to be to give you enough of a background so that you can think about what teratogens are, or teratogenic agents, because this is for the purposes of better understanding how chemicals interact with human beings. And that is really all about toxicology. So we're going to look at developmental stages. We're going to talk about proteins, and the proteins, specifically one that will guide embryonic development in humans. And we're going to talk about thalidomide as an example of a teratogen. Okay, so what we're going to cover, again, educational use only. We're going to talk about human development a little bit, specifically what happens in those very, very first few weeks after fertilization, and particularly in the week 4 area. We're going to talk about proteins as guides to that. We're going to introduce the term teratogen, and that is how to spell it here. Okay, what they are, a brief survey of the major categories, and then we're going to look in a little bit more detail at a chemical called thalidomide, spelled here for you. That's what we're going to cover here. So let's talk first about early human development. Let's pick up with weeks 1 and 2. And we're going to start right at the beginning, which is fertilization. So fertilization is the term that we use to talk about when a sperm cell, a male gamete, fuses with an egg cell called the oocyte, spelled O-O-C-Y-T-E. This is an event that happens in the fallopian tube of the female reproductive tract. And when that fusion event occurs, it results in a single cell called a zygote, one cell stage. And this one cell will contain all of the chromosomes of the human genome, which is 46 chromosomes in total, which means a pair, 23 pairs. 23 times 2 is 46. Okay, that is the full genetic blueprint, all of the DNA required for a human being. Human is the organism here. Okay, so I'm going to remind you of the biological hierarchy, right, which is we start with chemicals. Chemicals form cell structures form cells. Cells all together form tissues. Tissues work together to form organs. Organs work in concert to form what are called organ systems. And organ systems are what make up an entire multicellular organism. Here, human being. The human is the organism. Okay, and we're stopping there at the biological hierarchy. So moving on, fertilization is the very beginning. That's what starts the clock. And then in the next few days, we have something called cell division begins, right? And so the cells will replicate, and that will involve a process called mitosis, which is nuclear copying and division. DNA synthesis, then the nucleus is copied, and that is mitosis, and then the whole cell divides, which is called cytokinesis. Okay, so the zygote, which was that single cell, will immediately begin dividing, and it's not like growing in other ways yet, it's just splitting. One cell becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8, and so on. After several rounds of this exponential cell increase, we will have a solid ball of cells that is called a morula. And then that will invert in a pretty elaborate little process, forming a hollow ball that is called a blastocyst. And there is a lot to all of this. This is the area called embryology and human development, okay? And that little ball of cells, that blastocyst, is then going to implant somewhere between days 6 and 10 after fertilization. The blastocyst will travel down the fallopian tube, and it will embed itself into the lining of the uterus, which is called the endometrium. And once it is implanted, it will begin to receive nutrients from the mother and also give back waste products. So this is where like the blood system of the mother is making contact with the blood system of the developing new human organism. Okay, and so this is the stage where we start to use the term embryo. This is from Wikipedia, and so the things I just talked about are happening across this top line and a little bit further, right? Day 1 is fertilization. Cleavage will result in a cell increase, right? Compaction will mean sort of an organizing and a forming and a shaping of that mass of cells. At day 4, cells begin to differentiate, which means not all cells are behaving the same way. Some cells will start doing one thing, other cells will start doing another thing, right? We will see them organizing according to their function. So differentiation means not all cells are behaving in the same way. And if you think about your body right now, your skin cells are not behaving in the same way that your brain cells are behaving, right? Those cells are differentiated. They have slightly different structures, or maybe very different structures. They might have the same genetic content, but they are behaving and they are functioning, therefore, differently to accomplish different things in the body. And cavitation is like continued development. And then we got up to this zone of hatching and implantation stage here. There is the endometrial lining right here. This is the maternal lining, and this is the embryo implanted. Okay, and then of course more things continue after that. This takes us up to day 23, about the end, just a little bit past the 3-week stage, and we see this elaborate shaping and forming of the tissue that is now the embryo. All right, so stage 2 is called gastrulation. And this is where what we consider to be the actual body plan of the organism emerges in human development. This happens during week 3, right? This is a really important week in embryonic development. So during week 3, the embryo is going to reorganize itself. It used to be found as sort of 2 distinct layers of cells in the first couple of weeks. And now it's going to organize itself into 3 distinct layers, and these are called the primary germ layers. Every tissue and organ in your body comes from one of those 3 layers, and they formed during week 3. Those 3 layers are the ectoderm, ecto means outer, mesoderm, meso means middle, and endoderm, endo means inner, right? And derm means layer. The ectoderm is going to become the brain, the spinal cord, all of the nervous system, skin, hair, and nails. The mesoderm is going to become muscles and bones, the heart, the kidneys, and everything about your circulatory system. The endoderm is going to become the lining of the gut, the lungs, the liver, and the pancreas. Now, there's a really key concept that you need here, and it's proteins. So proteins are one of the chemicals, the macromolecules, large chemicals, that are found within all cells and all organisms, and they effectively do the majority of the work of an organism. So they do many different things. You could think of proteins like apps. So if you think about your phone is the organism. Your phone does things through apps, right? So you have an app to access your bank account. You have an app to access your email. You have an app that lets you do messaging. You have an app that lets you identify the bird that's making noise outside at my house right now, right? Those apps, they do the work of your phone largely. It's an analogy, so just go with it, okay? And we could think about proteins as kind of the apps that run the organism. They have a specific structure and function. They do different things, okay? And during embryonic development, proteins are the coordinators. They are signaling each cell to tell each cell what to do, which layer to join, and how to start functioning, right? And these proteins are therefore enabling a very precise molecular communication, right? And this organization is, I don't know why I put the word fails in there, is necessary for correct development. That's a little better, okay? All right, so carrying on here. just a visual. Endoderm, mesoderm, and ectoderm. Early in embryonic development, around that week 3 stage, we see these 3 layers form, and over the subsequent weeks of development, those layers are going to have little clumps of cells within them that will become all of these other kinds of cells and the tissues and organs to which they belong. So it's highly staged. Stage 3 is called organogenesis, right? And this is going to happen in week 4. And this is a really critical window, and I'm highlighting it here because it's particularly essential in the thalidomide story, which is what this lecture is getting towards. So let's think about week 4 and what's happening. During week 4, a structure called the neural tube is closing, and that has to happen correctly so that you get a brain and a spinal cord that function, that are shaped correctly and that function correctly. The heart will begin beating sometime in this stage. It's one of the first organs to actually assume its function. Okay, so we're getting actual organs here. Genesis means to make. Making of organs, organogenesis. The gut tube is forming. That will become your GI tract. Somites, which are cells that are precursors to the vertebra and our muscle tissue, are laid down in the correct spots. They're going to then continue to develop into those things. And critically, we're going to get what is called limb bud formation. And this is really, really key in the thalidomide story. So limb bud formation means that we will have small bulges in those mesoderm, that layer, okay, the mesoderm cells. Those little bulges are going to emerge from the embryo's body wall, and those little buds are the precursors to what will be arms and legs. Right? That all starts during this organogenesis stage. This whole process depends entirely on very precise protein signaling. There is one key protein that is particularly active during this critical window in week 4. It is called SAL4. Not a very exciting name, but it is a very important protein. You have to have enough SAL4 protein present and working in order to get limb bud outgrowth. If SAL4 is absent or degraded, so if it's never made, or if it's made but it's quickly broken down, then you will not get limb bud formation. So you will not be able to form arms and legs correctly and in the proper manner, right? So this is really, really critical. If anything interrupts this, we're going to see a failure, okay? All right, so this is sort of a breakout from a really excellent figure found at the link in this slideshow, a Lumen Learning online resource of weeks of development and what is happening generally. Going from the first cell, here we see 2, the zygotes become 2 cells, and then it's implanting, right? And we talked about that, and then we're looking at weeks 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? And so in this week 4 stage, we're seeing limb buds happening in week 4, right? Other important things are happening too. I'm stressing limb buds because of the thalidomide story. All right, so I'm going to stop this and make a second video just to keep the videos short.